The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off, or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
As we wrap up the 10th annual Miracles of Magic Mediathon benefiting Arkansas Children's Northwest, we want to send a huge thank you to our incredible sponsors: Crabtree RV, Slotsky's, Heartland Honda, Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine, a bit on the breezy side with highs around 70. Southwest winds could gust up to 30 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the low to mid 40s. Sunny skies and cooler on Saturday as a weak front works through the area. Highs in the upper 50s to mid 60s. Mostly clear Saturday night with lows in the 30s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Don't.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Baseball today, 3 o'clock. Charlotte. You got halftime right now on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, live at Baum Walker Stadium. Matt Jones, Christian Johnston holding down our ESPN Arkansas studios. Good morning, guys. We've made it to the end of the week. Got a game day today, game day tomorrow against South Carolina. Basketball in the air, baseball in the air, and we could not ask for a nicer day for baseball. It's almost as nicer than it was on Tuesday. And for Friday, with a Charlotte team coming in, maybe we'll get that first 10,000-person crowd at Baum Walker. Matt, good morning to you. What's up?
Great day to be here. Happy March Eve. It's definitely tis the season of sport.
It certainly is. Do we have I forget the next leap year. Is it next year? We'll have it 29th of February. Of course, you know, not going to have that in an odd year. Well, we make it to a Friday. We make it to South Carolina tomorrow, a 12 noon tip-off. But Matt, I got up to Fayetteville yesterday for the women's basketball game, and oh my gosh, what a crushing loss yesterday. 7th straight loss, and for a team that hasn't played too many close ball games. You know, out of the now 13 SEC losses. 11 of them have come by 20 points or more. Yesterday was the second loss by 2 points or less, but it came in heartbreaking fashion. And a team that hadn't won a game at all in the month of February had a Missouri team that also was 2-12 and had lost 12 in a row to the Razorbacks. The Hogs had the ball, and they had the lead most of the game, 27 minutes, 12 seconds worth of lead time. Throughout most of the second and third quarter. There was a little bit of back and forth in the fourth quarter. So turns into a tie game, a little more than 5 seconds left. Hogs call their last timeout. They're inbounding in the front court. And I started thinking about the Maryland-Michigan State game from 2 days ago, the men's game in which, Maryland misses a shot, or Michigan State misses a shot with about 7 seconds left. Maryland works it up the floor quickly, take too quick of a shot, and you're thinking, well, at this point it's overtime or bust, right, for Maryland, and it turned out it wasn't the case. Michigan hit the more than half-court buzzer beater to win it, and we saw not exactly the same thing yesterday at Bud Walton, but not far away from it. Arkansas inbounding in the front court. Kiki Smith looking for Izzy Higginbottom. She's getting face guarded by Lania Randall. Randall steals the ball away on the inbound pass. Kiki just kind of panicked. The time was counting down. Randall steals the ball, breaks away, lays it up with about a second and a half left. Hogs didn't have a timeout. Inbound quickly. Higginbottom tried a half-court heave, and it fell short. It was, and it's not like Arkansas is going to the postseason this year, but they had Mizzou down, and it just ripped your heart out, your stomach out, your eyeballs, and it was a tough scene, really tough scene yesterday. I hated it for them.
Yeah, I mean that's why they keep score. That's why it means a lot. Go out there and compete, and tough to lose 7 in a row. I don't know if I've ever lost 7 in a row before, but anytime you lose 3 in a row, Phil, I mean, coming to work and it really is the energy, the attitude's always better when you win. So when you're in a losing streak, it's tough sometimes to kind of pick yourself up by the bootstraps and go on.
Yeah, and I thought they tried exactly to do that. Coming in with 6 straight losses and most of those by 30 points or more. They played their hearts out yesterday. They played like they believed in trying to finish strongly. And I mean, I don't know if I've been around if I've covered a basketball team that dropped 7 in a row before. That is a month's worth of losses. I've seen baseball teams lose 16 in a row. The Razorback 2016 baseball team, if I remember the number, I think they lost their last 16 games, which was, I think, a month's worth of games too. That was a tough one. But hopefully they'll end the streak on Sunday against an A&M team they've already beaten. But, now we're coming in. So that's on the women's side. The men's side, you're playing to get into the tournament. Lenardi's got them in today, Matt. Not only in, but not on the first 4 line. Playing Memphis as a 10 seed in Raleigh. So, you've gotten yourself off the bubble, theoretically. I usually think of the bubble as teams that would be potentially first 4 or first 4 out. Those teams, there's about 16 teams or so. So it doesn't feel to me like, at least to Lenardi, Arkansas is on the bubble. So that means a win against South Carolina is all about holding serve. And tomorrow, tip-off is 25 hours away. So the team's going to be traveling out pretty soon and keep that momentum going. South Carolina is going to give you a game now. They're not going to lay down for them.
Yeah, well, who they beat? LSU this year. They got a game at home. I don't know.
It was Texas.
Oh, they beat Texas this year. Yeah. They got a game at home. It's tough to win on the road in the SEC. It's tough to bring 7. The road, you're probably not going to get the calls. When they drive to the rim and you protect the rim, you're going to get fouls called a little bit more on the road. So I think that'd be a real issue tomorrow. Honestly, is can we stay out of foul trouble? Don't be surprised if we have somebody foul out. I mean, not the announcer's curse, but I hope we don't. I hope they all 7 can go, because if they all 7 can play, then I think we got a chance. But you start fouling out late, things happen. It's going to be a close game. It's not like we're going to run away and hide from it. They get momentum. Are they sleepy when you start? How's the crowd there for a team that's not very good? Is there going to be 3,000 people in the gymnasium?
Yeah, I was just there last week for women's basketball, and they practically sell the place out. I mean, they can hold over 10,000. Doubtful they get that on a 12 noon afternoon game with the men's team picking up only 1 conference win this year. And it's an interesting, idea about somebody could foul out, because Richmond has fouled out in just, a little more than 2 handfuls of minutes. Knox has come close a couple of times. Trevin Brazil sometimes gets in foul trouble, and it's not a team that really can risk even anybody fouling out or even getting in foul trouble, early in a ball game. So it's certainly something to watch for. Alyssa Lang from the SEC Network, I think she's echoing what a lot of Arkansas fans are thinking, or maybe even hoping, and certainly other coaches in the SEC, as you hear Alyssa talking about, they're feeling right now they want to make sure they avoid Arkansas in the NCAA tournament.
This is not a team that anybody wants to see in the postseason. I hope that we see Arkansas in the NCAA tournament. And I say that after what? At the beginning of January, putting Arkansas in the panic room every single freaking week because of the way they started conference play. And we said they will have so many opportunities to show us that that was not the team that we were going to come to expect in 2025. And they have done that. You talked about giving or taking every opportunity to try to lose the game like Georgia did on Tuesday against Florida. When I was at the Arkansas-Auburn game last week, not only was Bruce Pearl very vocal about, like, I wouldn't want to play this team in the month of March. Like, if I got matched up with Arkansas, not a good time. There were so many times in that game where it was a 1-possession, 2-possession game, and Arkansas shooting themselves in the foot against the number one team in the country on the road at Neville Arena. And if Arkansas just had a couple less turnovers, or Big Z hits a singular 3 in that game, which he went 0 for like 8, 9 attempts, whatever it was. He could not buy a bucket in that game. That's a different ball game. And that was still a respectable performance by Cal and the Razorbacks against the number one team in the country. Then they go on the road and beat Missouri before then the win last night over Texas. This is a tournament team.
Alyssa, echoing what we've, I think, said about that Auburn game since it was played. Few turnovers, one made shot by Z, and maybe you're talking about a major upset. And keep in mind, that's an Auburn team that is 13-1 in Neville Arena and is blowing the doors off some really good teams of late. They just took Ole Miss out to the woodshed and won by 30 in that building. So, yeah, and I mean, if Arkansas continues to play like they have, even without a do, like they did against Texas, and South Carolina's not any better than Texas, you'll have a team with getting a little bit of momentum going into the postseason, and maybe could be even a little bit steeled playing without 2 of their stars. So there's an optimistic view on Arkansas basketball, Matt.
I like it. Win the games you're supposed to win. It's going to be a tough win on the road, but let's go get it. I think you're 100% in the tournament if you just go take care of business on Saturday.
Seems to be about right. Here's what's halftime for a Friday. Neil Atkinson will come on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll get out at 1:15. We got Arkansas and Charlotte. So I'll head down to the field to talk to DVH about 1:15. We'll do baseball talk with James Teague, former Arkansas pitcher and member of the Teague Law Firm, at 12:15. Had some questions I wanted to ask him about some of the Arkansas pitchers. We know that Landon Beidelshees will be the starter for Sunday. Gabe Gackle today, and tomorrow will be Zach Root. So a couple of lefties going back to back. And in just a moment, we'll have Aaron Torres with us on halftime. So stay with us.
All I'll say is truck, yeah.
Tommy, when's the last time you've had breast milk?
Sports to the wacky, weird, and wonderful. We've got you covered.
You got to be able to shoot. You got to be a threat.
You suck the helium out of a balloon and then you get,
hey, how you doing? Isn't that dangerous? I'm a hugger.
I never get a hug from you. What's that about?
I'm selective with them. I've been guilty of saying that you are what your record says you are. It feels different.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for watching it.
Pregnancy and Family Care Center and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
This is radio station WSKEE. We're taking calls on the wish line, making your wacky wishes come true.
Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat. I wish I was like 6'9", so I could get with Leo. She don't know me, but yo, she's really fine. You know, I see her all the time, everywhere I go, and living in my dreams. I can scheme a way to make her mine. Cause I know she's living back. My boyfriend's tall and he plays ball, so how am I gonna compete with that? Cause when it comes to playing basketball, I'm always last, and in some cases never put it off. So I just lean up on the wall, or sit up in the bleachers with the rest of the girls that came to watch they handball. Dang, y'all, I never understood black, while the dots see the black girl, and me, I get the hood rats.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, I love that song, Matt. Is that what athletes say at the trainer's room when they're going in to get measured when it's time to print the roster? Wish I was. Hey, I know I'm 6 foot. Why don't you add a couple inches there to me, please?
That might be what basketball players do. I'll have to. I want to ask your boy AT about that shooting guard from Texas to see if he really is 6'6". You know, because what Boogie Plan said he's 6'4". They kind of all look like they're about 6'1" out there.
I had 5'10" on my driver's license until I was told by an Arkansas basketball trainer 6 years ago. She told me, "You ain't 5'10", Phil." With big eyes, just like, all right, okay, I believe you. Aaron Torres is with us from the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast and Aaron Torres Media. How tall are you, AT, and how tall would you like to be?
Yeah, first of all, it's amazing how even the intro music is more upbeat during a winning streak. But, do I wish I was a little bit taller? Yeah. I'm at the age now where being a baller is not as big of a deal. I think I'm listed at 5'11". I think statistically they say that, like, if you're 6'3" or 6'4" or taller, you're more likely to be a CEO. Now, I enjoy doing what I'm doing, but there are studies that show, like you hit a certain point and it's like, people just kind of assume what you're doing and that you have your stuff together. So, I wouldn't mind being 6'2", 6'3", but listen, I'll say this, and I don't mean to disparage any of the short people out there. I'd love to be 6'2", 6'3", but I also wouldn't love being 5'2", 5'3". So I'll take being somewhere in the middle and being able to go on all those roller coaster rides and stuff.
Well, Arkansas basketball is winning, and so yes, we are definitely. We don't play dirges when they lose or anything, but certainly the music is much more upbeat right now. And hey, without Adu Thero and without Boogie Fland, there's something about this team, AT, that they just seem to play better when they're down some of their best players. Now, we should also, and Matt's made a point about this, and I think he's right about it. You have to take into context the team they played against the other day. I don't think Texas is very good, except for Trey Johnson, and I think he's amazing. Sure. That's not a very good team at all.
Well, I don't think they're very good either. But I don't think they're terrible. But I do think the resilience that this team, being Arkansas, constantly shows. I think it's something, and I do think, and I've heard this from Arkansas fans throughout the week, you need a do back for those really big games, really, once you start getting into the SEC tournament. I mean, obviously we kind of know what the Final Four games, kind of what you have to do to just get into the tournament. But I think when you start talking about the top of the SEC, the Alabamas, the Auburns, the A&Ms, and then, of course, who you could potentially match up with in the NCAA tournament, you need to do. But I also think it speaks to the resilience of this group. And let's take it a step further. Everybody had an opinion on Coach Cal when they were 0-5 in the SEC. And I think some of it was justified, but I saw some of this after Tuesday night, Wednesday night when they played, and I do agree with it. I think you can argue he's done some of his best coaching in recent memory, galvanizing this group, figuring out who they are, what their strengths and what their weaknesses are, because it would have been easy to fold the tent after Boogie Fland got hurt. And they're playing their best basketball, and they played, again, a phenomenal game with a phenomenal effort against against Texas the other day.
Yeah, I don't know how Texas – that seems to be like a coveted job. I don't understand how Texas isn't any good. Who is Johnson's NBA comp? Is he Steph Curry or more James Harden? Who would you kind of compare him to?
Wow, you're just ready to put him in future MVP category, huh? He's a scorer. I mean, there's no two ways about it. And – it was funny watching the game the other night, Matt, is I'm not an NBA draft expert, but, we all have opinions watching these guys. I think virtually every single guy in the draft, you're kind of projecting who he is and what he could be if things go right. Trey Johnson is who he is. He's a bucket getter. And there are some other guys in this draft that it's like, okay, well, if this hits and this hits and this hits and this hits and this hits, you could have X, Y, Z. And it's like, I already know who that guy is. And so, listen, Cooper Flagg's going to go number one. He should go number one. He's maybe I don't say by far the best player in college basketball, but he's by far the best NBA draft prospect in college basketball. But you get past him and it's like, well, Ace Bailey's this 6'10" guy that sometimes he's hitting fadeaway threes from 28 feet, and then sometimes he's going 3 for 11 from the field. Dylan Harper is like a pseudo-athletic guard, and so I'm just going through the draft board. I think there's a legitimate argument that Trey Johnson could and maybe should go number 2 overall. I just think with the way he puts the ball in the basket, again, you know who he is. You don't have to project out, well, what about this? No. He'll put the ball in the basket. And I think what's kind of crazy, I'll be quick on this, I know I'm going long. He broke Kevin Durant's freshman scoring record. I mean, that Kevin Durant 37-point performance against Oklahoma State is like an iconic game that still gets referenced. I think it was double, triple overtime, something like that. And so, we're talking about, a performance that we still talk about 15 years later than Kevin Durant. And Trey Johnson was better on whatever it was Wednesday night at Bud Walton Arena. I think it speaks to how good that guy is.
All right. I'll stay with a little college basketball. I was talking earlier with my former coach, Coach Nutt, and we were talking a little bit. This was this morning, and talking about the 4 number 1 overall seeds. And my 4 seeds, AT, are Auburn, Bama, Duke, and Houston. Is that who? Do you have anybody else that would be a number 1 seed right now?
I didn't know Coach Nutt was a bracketologist. I like that. I had no idea.
He's a ball player, man. There was something going on. I don't know. The combine's going on. Something happened. We ended up linking up this morning, and we then it goes into basketball talk,
Of course. No, yeah. So to me, Matt, those are my 4 right now. Listen, stuff is always subject to change, but when you're talking about these SEC teams at the top, they all play each other, right? I mean, Alabama, how about this for a Final 3 for Alabama? At Tennessee this weekend, Florida in the middle of the week, and then at Auburn next week to close the regular season. I mean, so you do the math, not everyone can win all these games. And so I know there's been like this pie in the sky. Could the SEC get all 4 number 1 seeds? That's obviously not going to happen. I don't even think you end up with 3, which is not like some insane knock. I just think it's so tough when all these teams are playing each other. Obviously, Tennessee, Florida are in position, but at least one of them, if not 2, are going to take a loss in the SEC tournament. So, I'm not talking about these schools like they're bad, but as far as the number 1 seed picture is concerned, even when they put out that mock bracket a few weeks ago, it had 3 SEC teams. I always felt like Houston was on the outside looking in, and they were going to be on the verge of coming up. And so here we are, and I think those 4 are probably what you'll see come Selection Sunday. I think there's a possibility that depending on how Alabama plays, they could fall to the 2 line, and then maybe you have a team like Florida jump up. But I think the SEC is going to end up with 2 number 1 seeds when it's all said and done. I'm just not totally positive who the second one will be, because I do think Auburn will be one of them.
So Arkansas is in this position where they're one of those teams that you love to talk about going into March as you don't want to play this team in the tournament ball club. That's what they're being talked about right now, and I think that's legitimate. A, do you believe that? B, is there another SEC team that's kind of around the standings with Arkansas that you think could be in that same category?
So first of all, I absolutely agree on Arkansas because, listen, they just create so many. Listen, let me put it this way. Let's just call a spade a spade. If you're within a play or 2 of beating Alabama and winning at Auburn, by definition, that means you can beat anybody. And it'd be one thing if they played Alabama and then they got blown out by Auburn, or they were blown out. They played the 2 of them within a week of each other. And again, a play or 2 away from winning that game. So yes, I totally agree that they are a team that nobody wants to play. The bottom half of the SEC, I don't know that anybody really stands out. I think Georgia, if they get in, would create some matchup problems. But I think it's more that middle tier. I don't know if Missouri's probably trending toward the 5-6 seed. They play so fast. They're so athletic. They defend so well. That's a team I don't want to play. And then let's just say it, since the 2 programs are, at least for the next few years, tied inevitably together, Kentucky at their best, we've seen them beat Duke, who's going to be a number 1 seed, beat Florida, who's a 1 or 2 seed. And they just really haven't been able to stay healthy since about Christmas time, where it's almost the opposite of Arkansas, where Arkansas in November, December, every game it was a slightly different lineup. I know Arkansas is dealing with some injuries now, but, there was a 7-8 game stretch where you rode with your 8-9 guys. Kentucky, it's like, well, this guy comes back, then this guy goes down. Jackson Robinson came back last week and then immediately got hurt in the first game back. And so that's a team where if they can get their full complement of guys in the next 10 days and really use the SEC tournament, a game or 2 there as a ramp-up period, they've proven they can play with anybody. I just think, we're now talking about tomorrow being March 1st, and I worry, are they going to be able to get all those guys back in time and playing at a good enough level in time for the SEC tournament? NCAA tournament.
Hey, Aaron, I know you're out west, and there's a lot of stuff going on about Matthew Stafford. I don't know if you've heard any or what how connected you are, but you have the combine coming up. I just don't understand why the Rams would trade Stafford. Do you think they should keep him, or do you think he lands somewhere else?
Yeah, it's funny. I'll give you a little preview. I'm actually hosting Fox Sports Radio at 2 Central, noon Pacific today, so a couple hours from now. This is obviously one of our topics, Matt. It's it's interesting because I think the Rams, that organization, they're kind of in, they've been to 2 Super Bowls, they've won a Super Bowl, so there's not like a lot of internal pressure from the front office to you got to make moves for the good of next season as opposed to the broader picture of 2020, whatever, the broader picture of the next 5-6 years. And so it's almost like, to me, it feels like if this happens, it's like a Belichick, you move off of a guy a year too early than a year too late. Stafford, I guess I knew this. I think he's like 37 years old. And I think that from their perspective, it's like, we're willing to give you a 2-year deal, a 1-year deal, but we're not doing the 4 years, 40, 50 million guaranteed, which is kind of the going rate of a quarterback right now. And so I don't think that I love it from the Rams perspective, but for Matt Stafford, a guy who kind of got his brains beat in with the Detroit Lions for so many years, I don't understand why he's in such a rush to even consider other options. To me, he's made his money. He won his Super Bowl. I know LA has a lot of negativity around it, but it's not a bad place to live. I mean, it's 75 degrees. I was just taking my dog for a walk before I talked to you guys. So I don't really understand why he would consider things from other perspectives, unless it is just get that one last big bag. But it's like, how fun is it going to be getting your brains beat in with the Giants or with the Raiders for a couple extra bucks? But not my life to live. But that, to me, I don't really understand it from the Rams' perspective, but I certainly don't understand it from Matt Stafford being in a rush to leave a really good organization.
Hey, AT, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you coming on. When we talk again, it'll be March. You're a 12-month-a-year guy, but I think March is probably your number one month.
April's become April last year was like, 5-alarm fire every single day. Cal's going there. Mark Pope's going there. This guy's transferring. But it's a fun time of year, man. It's a fun time of year. I can't wait. I know Arkansas is going to be involved in that bracket. And I can't wait to talk to you about it for several more weeks, because I think Arkansas, as long as we can get a do-back sometime before the end of the season, I think Arkansas is in position to be in position. So,
Aaron Torres from the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast and Aaron Torres Media. Always appreciate your time, AT. Have a great weekend and a good show later today.
All right. Thank you both. Have a great weekend. Woo Pig, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Hey, Dave, we're talking March Madness. Next week, March Madness makes its way to Fort Smith Southside High School for the Great American Conference Basketball Championships. It's at Fort Smith Southside High School, March 6th through the 9th. That's next Thursday through Sunday, March the 9th. It's all the best men's and women's teams in the GAC battling it out for the automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. You can get tickets and more information for the Great American Conference tournament at greatamericanconference.com. Opening our phone lines for calls and texts for the remainder of the hour. 877-377-6963. We'll see how a couple of Razorbacks performed at the NFL Combine in just a moment.
You see a possum, try to kill it. It's not a pet.
This is Halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with TruGreen. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, TruGreen brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard, so your lawn can look like a fairway. Sign up by March 10th and get one free application. Plus, you'll get TruGreen's price match guarantee. If you're not satisfied, TruGreen will revisit your lawn between scheduled visits to make it right. Visit TruGreen.com today to get a free application. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you
Roland. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Aline Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
I'm new in town, but not new to Oklahoma law. Hi, I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. I've been licensed to practice law in Oklahoma for 13 years, so it was time to put down some roots. Smack dab across from the Sequoia County Courthouse in Sallisaw. We offer low flat fees and payment plans to fit every budget. So if you need a lawyer, drop by, check us out online, or call us at 918-238-2363. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear?
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Oh Lord, forget about me. I'm doing fine. Oh Lord, forget about me. Me right.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
NFL Combine continues today, the second day of the Combine, and so that means defensive backs and tight ends will go through the workouts. Had the defensive linemen and linebackers yesterday, Matt, and Eric Gregory and Landon Jackson went through the drills as well. Jackson had the best vertical jump of any of the defensive ends. There were 17 of them. His vertical was 40.5 inches, number 1. He was second in the broad jump amongst defensive ends, 10 feet 9 inches, kind of in the middle of the pack in terms of his 40 speed and the 10-yard split. But 40.5-inch vertical jump for Landon Jackson, that'll stand out.
And there's just numbers you want to reach. And before the combine, I said Landon Jackson would be a top 100 pick. Now, after the combine, I think he'll be a top 50 pick. So I really do. You go out there and you perform, you test with the other guys that are in your group. And that's big time for him. I'm proud of him.
Measured 6'6". I remember on the roster at Arkansas it said 6'7", 264, 33.25-inch arm, and a 10-inch hand. He ran the 40 in 4.68, 165 in the 10-yard split. Gregory was kind of near the back end on the 10-yard, on the vertical, on the broad jump, 5.15 in the 40.
They're different positions. I guess
Sure.
He's more of an interior. So yeah, that's his thing would be more. You want to see his explosiveness, but how many times can he bench 225?
Sure. Yeah, he played a little on the outside as well, but yeah, absolutely, he's much more on the inside in the NFL. So then you'll get Tesla, Armstrong, and Jaquindon Jackson going through drills Saturday with the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, and the running backs. That means Isaiah Bond tomorrow. He said he's going to break Xavier Worthy's combine record in the 40. Worthy ran a 4.21. Bond says his best so far is 4.23, but he says he can run a 4.20.
You got to believe, right? Gotta
well.
believe.
What was your 40?
Combine, it was 4.37.
And that was really that. I mean, I know that would rank really, really far up there.
When I was a sophomore in high school, I ran a 4.6, and then when I was a junior, I ran a 4.4. And so I was junior in high school. That's about same thing as senior in college. It's about the same thing.
There's Travis Hunter on playing both wide receiver and cornerback yesterday on the NFL Network. Of course, that's the main question about Travis Hunter, if he's going to play both ways.
What are you at the next level?
Both, just like you saw me play.
You want to do both. How many snaps in a football game can you play?
All of them, if they give me the chance and the opportunity to do it.
And we were talking about the challenges that come with it. You got to be in offensive meetings. You got to be in defensive meetings. You got to be in wide receiver meetings. You got to be in defensive back meetings. How is there enough time to do all that? How did you prepare for that when you played college?
Well, we kind of got 24 hours in a day. We probably sleep for about 8 of those, so we probably got 16 more. So that's 16
and all
that
of them
I'm
dedicated to those.
Yeah, all of them dedicated to football.
How excited for you for this moment, being here at the Combine? I know this is something that you probably envisioned seeing a couple years ago, but to actually go through this now, to see all this media attention here, how are you taking this all in?
I'm super excited. My goal was to get to the NFL and continue to be great and continue to do things that nobody in my family have ever done. So definitely loving them. Definitely blessed to be here.
You got to appreciate it. And I love the answer he gives. First, he tells you how many hours there are in the day and how much sleep he needs. That's the first thing he thought about. And then the rest of the day, 16 hours worth, are dedicated to football. If you're a scout or a general manager and you're interviewing anybody that is at the Combine or that you're considering drafting or signing as a free agent, that's about the best answer you can get, isn't it?
He's a Deion Sanders disciple. That's a Deion Sanders answer. So he's been trained well. I love his enthusiasm, and I'll never tell a player that he can't do anything. That's you don't hinder these players or try to put them in a box like I said with your boy Jimbo Fisher hiring Bobby Petrino, and hey, we'll let you be the OC, but we're not going to let you do it the way you want to do it. You're going to let the kid play, but it's physically impossible to do that. But I love his charisma. I love his enthusiasm. I love his joy and his want to, absolutely. But it's not possible.
Mike Vrabel talked yesterday about a meeting he had with Travis Hunter, and they had a little back and forth.
I'm sure Travis doesn't even know, but we were kind of jawing back and forth as he left last night. And I said, "You're not the only one that played two ways, Slim. Like there were some other guys that did this too." and he kind of looked at me and we laughed.
I had forgotten about Vrabel also occasionally being, I think he was a tight end every once in a while. And I go back and look at his numbers. In his career, he caught 12 total passes in the playoffs in the regular season, and every one of them was a touchdown. So he went both ways, just not quite the same way that Travis Hunter may be doing it.
Yeah, they had, who was their, it was something Brown, Troy Brown, I believe, was their slot receiver that would play nickelback as well. So
That's right.
And we always had, every team I've ever been on, we had a deal with Sean Andrews in the backfield. You have different things that are your goal line plays or special plays where you have certain players that you kind of you'll move a D tackle to fullback. You'll do things. So if you're an athlete, man, and you can play, they'll find places for you.
The first guy that I remember that I ever was cognizant that played two positions, and I think he only did this like a handful of times, was the Refrigerator Perry. Remember when he would line up every once in a while in the backfield for the Bears when they were at the goal line. And the most heartbreaking fact of the NFL potentially was that Walter Payton never scored a touchdown in a Super Bowl because Ditka put the fridge in instead on the goal line for at least one play, and he did score a touchdown in that Super Bowl over New England. Got a question from David here for you, Matt. He asked, how do you teach kids to run faster? That's certainly not a question for me because I'm as slow as I've ever been.
That's why Walter Payton will always be better than Cam Newton, because whenever all that went down, he handled it like a professional and didn't make it about himself. You got to love Walter Payton for that, selfless teammate. But my pops was a college athlete and a coach and a track coach and a football coach, a basketball coach, and you got to teach the kids young. You got to get them going when they're young, and that there's a thing. And from 6th grade on, if you're a skill player and you play football, you're running track. If you're not, then you're going to put your hand in the dirt. So you got to start when you're a baby, and then hopefully the good Lord blesses you a little bit.
Is key to running a good 40. Now, I've never run track before, but I always think in a 40 is the same as trying to run bases in baseball. It's that you got to get off the blocks quickly. I mean, is that the kind of thing that you're working on, and what kind of exercises or drills are there that you can actually get faster with? Is it a matter of weightlifting, or is it a matter of just technique?
Technique's key, obviously. There's ladder drills. There's so many drills you can do. Playing multiple sports is the biggest thing. Don't be a 7th grader and say, all I'm going to do is play baseball or all I'm going to do is play basketball. You play all the sports because that's how you compete. That's how you get better. When you go to off-season, you're not competing. Off-season's for non-athletes. If you're an athlete, we go on to the next ball sport.
Two Shoes has called. Good morning, Two Shoes. How you doing?
I'm doing well this morning. It's a pretty day in Fayetteville.
Very pretty. Perfect for baseball.
I'm going to disagree with the guru, Matt. There was a professor at the U of A. I'll just use his first name, Mike. And he was an Olympian with TCU, I believe. And he has a son that played football. He was a linebacker and slower than a snail. And I asked him, I said, can't you teach him to run faster? He said, no. And I said, well, Mike, why? He said, it's all in brain neuros. He said, you can teach technique and you can get a slight increase there. But in order to be a world-class runner, or a much, much faster runner, it's all in brain waves. It has nothing to do with training. Now that's what the Olympians said.
All right, I don't know. It seems to me that there's a certain amount of athletic ability that you're gonna that it takes, and we're talking about world-class athletes versus what the texter was asking about, which was just trying to help a kid run faster. I think that's more about technique and not necessarily the talent involved in it. I don't think the question really had that much to do with winning an Olympic race. It's just about getting faster, and I think practice will help, and I think working on your technique will help. Talent, I think that would be the obvious answer. That talent is the thing that rises to the top. We got to take the break because we're right up against it. We got Jim on hold. Jim, hold with us. We'll get your call after we come back here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app.
This is Halftime.
The Crane Team is your home for all your automotive needs in the River Valley. With 2 big Crane, Kia, and Hyundai locations in Fort Smith, the Crane Team has the perfect vehicle for you. From pickup and delivery to service after the sale, plus our famous huge Crane Cash discounts. The Crane Team simply can't be beat. Shop Arkansas's largest selection of Kia Tellurides, Hyundai Palisades, Sorrentos, Tucsons, and more. Visit us today or shop online at craneteam.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
Cold man winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Jim, you're on halftime. Appreciate you holding through that commercial break. What's going on today, Jim?
Hey, no problem, man. I'll make it quick because I know you're against the top of the hour, too. But you were talking about the Chicago Bears and that famous 1985 Super Bowl team that maybe we'll never see something like that again. It was amazing. I lived in the Chicago area during that time, so the town was just upside down. while that was all happening, they did the Super Bowl shuffle a month and a half before the Super Bowl. And a lot of people don't remember they shut out the Giants and the Rams in the 2 playoff games before they whacked the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So it was just a rolling train downhill.
What was
so
that?
Fun.
Was that Buddy Ryan defense he had going?
That's right. That's right. And you remember the defense carried off Buddy Ryan after the Super Bowl. Ditka did not get carried off. Buddy Ryan got carried off triumphantly after that Super Bowl. I don't know whether Ditka, I don't know, everything behind that, but they just loved him and played their hearts out for him. It was pretty incredible. But there was a fun story connected to that. Jim McMahon was a quarterback, as you remember. And nowadays, how we do advertising, how they do advertising on football games, et cetera, has dramatically changed in the 70s and 80s, where it wasn't allowed on the fields or on the players or anything. If you remember, he wore headbands. I don't know if
He
Phil
was
or
the
if
headband
you guys
guy.
remember
That's
that.
right.
He was the headband guy, and he would put little messages on his headbands and then take off his helmet on the sideline and have messages to, like, the TV viewing audience. And, of course, the Bears were getting millions of viewers to their games. Monday night games were, like, the largest ever in terms of viewership. So Pete Rozelle started to come down on him a bit. I don't know if you remember, and said, you can't really be putting messages like that on your headbands. No one else was doing it. No one else was making this type of thing. So Pete was coming down on him. I happened to work for Taco Bell at the time in the marketing department. And we grabbed Jim McMahon as a spokesperson. I wasn't behind all the commercial, but I was in marketing at the time. We did a commercial that was introducing the new steak fajitas back in, that winter. And it was right before the Super Bowl. We broke the commercial. And he said, hey, I'm a renegade. I'm a rebel. I'll do what I want. So does Taco Bell. And he bites on the steak fajita, and it's a glorious commercial. And at the very end, he takes off kind of a hat he has on or a helmet, and it says Taco Bell on the headband. And at the very end, he just goes, hi, Pete. And it was, that's all he said. And that whole Jim McMahon rebel sort of, his glint in his eye and back in the day, he was just such a renegade and a rebel. He was hilarious. Chicago loved him. But he goes, hi, Pete, right into the end of the commercial. We played the heck out of it coming right up to the Super Bowl. And during the Super Bowl, he wore a different headband every quarter. I don't know if you remember that. Every quarter, he had a different little message and kind of defied Pete Rozelle during that whole time period. And that just emblematic of the Bears that year. They felt like they kind of owned the world a little bit.
Wow, that's great stuff. Jim, I wish we had more time because I would ask you more about the Taco Bell menu and how you guys marketed it, because in 85, that's really kind of just before Taco Bell exploded. And maybe Hi Pete could be a reason why. It's a great call. Thank you very much, Jim. That 85 Bears team, to me, is still the scariest football team of my lifetime. A lot of it had to do with my age. I was 8. But if you watched them play, Monsters of the Midway described it perfectly.
Best defense and the best running back, kind of what the Philadelphia Eagles did. And I think their slogan was run for the border.
About right.
That was it. That was the money marketing they had, go run for the border. And then all hell broke loose.
Did you picture Jim McMahon selling the Mexican pizza, which I feel like we saved on halftime like 3 years ago when they finally booted it off the menu for a ridiculous reason? And speaking of Taco Bell, they're our main sponsor of the Hit That Line Now app, where you can listen to all of the ESPN Arkansas shows. You can view our shows. You can listen to all the podcasts. And it's brought to you by Jim's former employer, Taco Bell, where you satisfy your daytime cravings with a Cantina Chicken menu lineup today. Now stay with halftime and get into hour number 2 in just a moment.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google or Yahoo it or Bing it. Jasco Graphic Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after. So if that open sign is on, I'm here. Y'all come on in. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Are you a gamer, working from home, a family with lots of connected devices? Ozarks Go offers faster speeds, better connections, and more reliability. Leave your frustration and buffering from your current provider and get Ozarks Go. Ozarks Go provides real, affordable broadband internet to homes and businesses in Northwest Arkansas. Ready to get the best? Then go to ozarksgo.net and sign up now. Don't wait any longer. Faster speeds, better connections, and more reliability. Visit ozarksgo.net today.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Are you using Facebook as your website? Here are 3 reasons why that's a bad idea. 1, not everyone has it, which means you're missing out on customers. 2, you're not in control, Facebook is. You can't customize the look or fully brand your page. 3, unless you pay for ads, your page isn't getting seen. Let the Modular Orange team help you own your space online with a fully custom website that's only $95 per month. Go to modularorange.com to find out how. That's modularorange.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine, a bit on the breezy side with highs around 70. Southwest winds could gust up to 30 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the low to mid 40s. Sunny skies and cooler on Saturday as a weak front works through the area. Highs in the upper 50s to mid 60s. Mostly clear Saturday night with lows in the 30s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to take an opportunity. Woo! To blow the whistle.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that has the perspective. Smith, I'm all right. Joaquin State dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house. And the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
There ain't but one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Tangents on conversations sometimes lead to other segments and pieces of info that we didn't really plan on getting into. Welcome back here. It's ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Halftime, 12:01. Let's see how we did this. We went from, I don't even remember how we got to it. Walter Payton not scoring in the Super Bowl. Refrigerator Perry did. 85. Super Bowl played in 86 against New England. Jim called with a story about Jim McMahon and his High Pete story for Taco Bell, and detailed about Buddy Ryan being carried off the field after the Super Bowl victory. Ditka was carried off the field. I remember seeing the photo, and that was the thing that stood out. It was that both the head coach and the defensive coordinator being carried off, and the two of them had been at odds for I think, quite a while, because Ditka got the nod as the head coach over Ryan, and he had already been the defensive coordinator. And I don't know if it's a matter that they didn't like each other, but they quote-unquote butted heads quite a bit. And I think that was also Buddy Ryan's reputation, Matt, because I remember, I think this was after he'd been let go by the Eagles as the head coach. He's a defensive coordinator, and I can't remember what team it was. It might have been for the Houston Oilers, and he and Kevin Gilbride, who was the offensive coordinator, got into a fist fight on the sideline during a game. So, but Buddy Ryan was not always pal with every coach on the sideline.
Yeah, both those guys were a little brash, so to speak. Ditka's best move was trading every single one of his draft picks for Ricky Williams and then going to the golf course with a cigar. Maybe that's why the Bears took Caleb Williams, because he's been known to write messages on his body, not necessarily his headband, but he was a human billboard there at USC. So maybe they kind of similarities.
I guess it potentially back in '85, putting messages under your headband would be maybe the same idea as painting your fingernails with an F-bomb on it. Can we draw that line from about 35, 36 years apart? Maybe not. 877-377-6963 to get with us on Halftime Football. Sent out some information today about spring practice, the red-white game, and some dates over the fall. Spring practice officially beginning on March the 10th. So we have a little more than 10 days until spring practice begins. There will be a spring game for Arkansas this year. That isn't the case for some of the other Division I teams, at least in the SEC. Texas has already canceled their spring game. I think there's a few others that are still being played, so not everybody's on the canceling route yet. They've announced Family Weekend will be October 19th when the Texas A&M series resumes in Fayetteville, and homecoming will be a November homecoming this year, November the 1st against Mississippi State. Some text coming in. Jeffrey hated Buddy Ryan. He was a Cowboys fan and never forgot the Bounty Bowls. Yeah, I think I read a little bit about that as well. And our texter out of the 479 said, that's right, it still hurt Ditka's feelings when Ryan was carried off the field on their shoulders. And that was the last game he coached for the Bears, because the Eagles hired him in the offseason, and Buddy Ryan was their head coach for the next, he was the head coach there for 5 years. Randall
had Reggie White.
Yes, he did. We got Charlie on hold here. Charlie, what's going on? How are you today?
Oh man, I'm good. How are you? How are you guys doing?
Great, gorgeous day today, man. I'm happy.
Well, man, these darn decisions that just keep getting thrown at the Tuna's way. Phil,
you always seem to have like a big fork in your life. I mean, it's just like these huge decisions, and it comes into the show all the time, and I feel like we are the fork in the road. This show is the fork in the road of your life.
You guys are a part of the decision, because I always say that if I ask for certain people's advice, I mean, I know what I'm getting when I'm talking to you guys, but the Tuna gets hit up last night from a homie of mine from school that he's living in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And he just, for his first job, which I'm like, I'm so happy for him. His first job in football, he's going to be an offensive coordinator for a private school. And then he goes, bro, you have got to come down here. I'm telling you, I can get you on right now as a quarterbacks coach. The head coach wants to meet all this. I'm like, dude, you want me to just grab my stuff? This is a tough decision. Like, the Tuna can't just get up and leave tomorrow, get on a plane, fly to Georgia. I don't have it like that. So I was trying to tell him, like, bro, you got to let me think on some things. But this is a little bit different than the opportunity that I told you guys about earlier in the year, because that would be in the state of Arkansas and this is Georgia. But it required me to get a certain certificate that is supposedly not hard to get, which I know I could
Charlie,
do.
Charlie, I feel like we're turning into your life coaches here on this show. Like we're I don't know if we're here to help you make the big decisions in life that life takes, but I hope it all works out.
I know, and you guys aren't going to say one way or another, but you guys always are encouraging, and you guys are like my life coaches in a sense. But I'll say this: I was thinking about you guys were talking about. You mean they had feelings back in the 80s? You mean Dick and what's his name didn't like each other? You mean that actually drama went on back in the 80s? I didn't know. Man, it's just crazy because all the drama today with everything is out there. It's like Scottie Pippen. Have you been watching any of this Scottie Pippen MJ beef that just will not go away? Like they continue to talk about this. Do you think those two will ever reconcile their differences? Because I don't know whose side I'm on this. I don't know if you guys have heard it. Phil, have you heard some of it? Like where Scottie's coming from?
All I know is MJ's son dating Scottie's ex-wife. Outside of that, I have there's so many other things in the world that I got to focus on. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with what's going on with the sorority girl at Ole Miss. I can't keep up with things happening in the NBA. I can't keep up with Pippen Jordan beef. No, I don't know what's going on.
It's crazy, man. It's just so much stuff. You're right. But I'm excited to hear you. You're only on the call today, right, Phil? You don't have the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, I'll have today, and then Nick Batters from who used to be the Naturals AA announcer is tomorrow and Sunday, and then next week, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay, so we're facing the righties this weekend with the fastball, the changeup, kind of that slider mix. That's the kind of guys we're facing. I was going to ask you, if you were to pick, and I know it's probably different for everybody and for every pitcher, but if you were to pick, a combination of pitches, that might be the hardest for any batter to face, would it be something along the lines of what Skeens does? Because he's got, 4 or 5 pitches that he can really control and hammer in there. I think the sinker-cutter, they call it the sinker-cutter slider combo with maybe a changeup. People that can throw that is really difficult. If you were to choose, or what you would think would be the toughest to hit, as far as a batter from a combination standpoint, would it be that sinker-cutter combo with the slider? Or
I think what you want, Charlie, is you want pitches that move in different directions and that you can also throw at different levels of the strike zone and change the eye level. You got to be able to throw all your pitches for strikes, but then you also have to be able to locate it at various spots of the zone. You want to change eye level up to down. You don't want too many pitches that move the same way. Your changeup, your sinker may end up moving the same way sometimes. So, yeah, you just want pitches that'll move in different directions. And you don't want to be a kitchen sink guy. It's I forget the name of the kid from the sequel of the Bad News Bears. He had 8 different pitches that he threw. It's look, learn to locate a fastball, and then we'll go from there. And later when we talk with James Teague in the next segment, he's got. I'm going to ask him about Gabe Gackle switching where he stands on the pitcher's mound. Just a little difference. There can be a big difference in results from the smallest change in where you're standing on the rubber, and Gabe Gackle made that change last week. But let's take a call from Cecil first. Hey, Cecil, what's going on?
What's going on, fellas? I just want to say something about the game tomorrow and the rest of the season. If we can continue to play like we did play against Texas for his Big Z, the difference of Big Z in the playing, in my opinion, is he was clicking in both cylinders. He was in shots, and that's building his confidence up, and he was hitting his jumpers. So if we can, and we're gonna have to attack the basket just about every play, and we'll win the game. I think we'll win out. This morning I heard Chuck Moon talking about how many games him and Barton, how many games could we win 2 out of 3. I think we win all 3 of them. Because we got the hardest game at home. That's just my opinion. But the thing about the SEC, it's not like Rice, Baylor, Texas Tech back in the Southwest Conference days. Those was almost automatic wins every time. Rice was always last and all of that, but it's a different vibe now. So even though somebody got to be last, and South Carolina's last, but they playing good basketball too. The SEC is just a lot of talent, man. So you just got to come out and play, and I think we can win out. I just know we can. I ain't gonna say we can win 2 out of 3, or can we just win 1 out of that? I think we can win all the games, then come into the tournament and do really well. I'm sure Thero probably could play tonight, but I don't think we need him. So we need to rest him up, get him ready for the dance. He might have to 2-step or whatever he might have to do, but I know he's gonna get out there and do it. So I just wanted to say that. And Michael Jordan, I heard a gentleman on here. He was talking about Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen about his wife and stuff. Homeboy gone. He done went on with his life, and then she was too old anyway. He was I guess I don't know what to say about what kind of struck he was in. She was might have been Michael Jordan struck and got his son or whatever. I don't know, trying to get back at Scotty. But anyway, that's over with. They've been split up. So
I appreciate that, Cecil. Thanks for the update on the relationship. Crabtree RV Center celebrates their 75th year in business as a family-owned business over the entire 75 years. They're presenting the Greater River Valley RV Show right now, extending their sale with the lowest prices on all units. You'll find top brands such as Coachman and Grand Design at the Greater River Valley RV Show at the junction of I-40 and I-49, right off both intersections and beside the Cracker Barrel at crabtreerv.com as well. Stay with us. We are back with James Teague from the Teague Law Firm in just a moment.
This is halftime. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full day cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models. Payments start at $199 a month. Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade. Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
To care for you and your family.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker-Neuson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker-Neuson dealer.
Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I feel free. Bum 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 bum. I feel free. Bum 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 bum. I feel free. 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 Feel when I dance with you, we move like the sea. You're all I want to know. I feel free. I feel free. I feel free.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Former Arkansas pitcher James Teague, a member of the Teague Law Firm, joining us on a Friday afternoon with first pitch in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. James, it's a gorgeous, sunny Friday in Fayetteville. We got a ball game at 3 o'clock. Don't you wish you could be at Baum right now or later today?
I do. Instead, I'm in a suit. I'm on Zoom court right now, with the snow and everything else. Everything gets pushed back. So we've got to be pliable in these kind of situations. So I'm on Zoom court. I'm taking your call. I'm on the radio. I'm kind of doing it all today.
Wow, that makes you a utility pitcher of sorts and a utility lawyer of sorts too. I was talking with Matt Hobbs, Hogs pitching coach, a few days ago, and he told me that Gabe Gackle, in the middle of last Friday's game against Kansas State, changed where he is standing on the rubber. They had switched him to the third base side this year and had been working there in the fall and January in order to get a little more angle on his slider, and they thought it could be more deceptive. But he didn't look as comfortable on that side of the pitcher's mound. So they've moved him back to the first base side for the last couple of innings against K-State, and they liked what they saw. Gabe liked how he felt. The difference in 9 inches of where you're standing on the pitcher's rubber can make all the difference in the world, can't it?
It can. I actually tried to go to the third base side in pro ball because I was trying to throw, at a little better angle, kind of coming from behind the right-handers. And it was the first pitch, I'll never forget it. I just reared back through it as hard as I could, and it hit the batter in the hands, but it luckily hit the knob. And it was really hard for me to feel like I could get the ball back across, to the glove side, because of just that angle. And you look at it, you think, oh, it's just a couple inches here or there. It really does make a big difference. So, if you're a little uncomfortable third base side, and you got to look at, maybe your pitches would be nastier over there, but if you can't feel it get in the zone, it doesn't do you a lot of good. Let's get back over on the first base side.
Yeah, and you would think that the stuff will take over, but deception is just as important as stuff in a lot of cases. So I think it makes a lot of sense to at least give it a try and see if you can get that angle on the slider for right-handers. But if it doesn't work, you got to be comfortable on the pitcher's mound no matter what. So if you're on the wrong side, you got to go back to where you're comfy. It's just I think it makes sense to try to see how deceptive Gabe can be.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things you try it, it works, it doesn't, you kind of go from there. Because if you think about it from a right-hander, your best breaking balls are always low and away. They're not usually the ones that are backing up. You want to try to pull it down low and away. Well, if you're throwing on the right base, on the right side, that's perfect because now you're kind of creating that angle naturally just by way of moving over on the rubber. However, if you can't control, you don't have the feel, sometimes the benefit of kind of the stuff increase is wiped out or negated by the feel decrease. And so you kind of got to walk that line there.
Yeah. Zach Root is deceptive. He came here already deceptive. And another thing that Coach Hobbs said he was trying to get from Root is what Root wanted, which was to come here and perfect his cutter. That he came with a plan. And I thought that was interesting about how Matt described that he came here with a plan. It's not that he compared that to other pitchers, but I sometimes wonder if pitchers do show up to Arkansas with a plan of exactly what it is that they feel they've done well and what it is that they need to improve upon, or if they wait to see, based on how they're pitching against their own teammates, what it is that they need to improve upon. Root already came here and knew, I need to work on my cutter. I got to get a slider over for strikes. And he's done that so far, and he already is deceptive. I really like Zach Root.
Yeah, I think he kind of has the look of a guy who knows what he's doing. And I think as he continues to put those pieces together, he's just going to get better and better. He definitely has the stuff, adding that cutter to kind of that over-the-top curveball and then that power fastball kind of gives hitters another thing to think about. Am I going to get the loopy one? Do I need to defend the fastball? Oh, wait, there's a fastball. Never mind. The cutter in the dirt, strike three. A lot to think about when all three of those pitches are firing on all cylinders.
Gage Wood's out for at least 3 to 5 weeks. But now you got Landon Beidelshees that moves into the rotation for Sundays. And I like the idea of Root followed by Beidelshees. It's, lefties, left-handed starting pitchers, it's like you say, you can never really have enough of them. I don't know if I'd want 3 in a row on a weekend, but I do like 2. And I like Beidelshees because he also, to me, seemed like he came here with a plan, because he could have pitched for, I think, a number of other teams in the SEC. He took a chance to come to Arkansas knowing that he might not be a starter. Didn't seem to bother him all that much, and now he'll get a chance to start this weekend.
Yeah, he's looked really good. I think he kind of has that lefty quirk that we talked about, a guy who has some experience, has some feel, and can kind of put the pieces together. So I have no concerns about him. It's rare that you lose a weekend starter and someone fills in the gaps, but that's kind of what we're seeing with him.
Kuhio Aloy's gotten a lot of – yes.
Phil, I'm getting called into court here. I'm going to have to run early.
He's got to go. All right. See, that's what happens when you're dealing with an actual working lawyer who's talking baseball with you on a radio show too. All right, James, go beat him. We'll be rooting for you. That's James Teague from the Teague Law Firm. He had said that court got pushed back a little bit, so he may have to get off early, and there it is. He's called in for pinch hitting duty. No, not pinch hitting duty. It seems more like a rain delay, and the umpires just told him to get out of the dugout and get back on the pitcher's mound. James is with the Teague Law Firm. Been there for 3 years. He'll be with us every Friday at 12:15. Sometimes families have disputes just like baseball teams, and you need someone in your bullpen with guardianships, adoption, and child support help. And the Teague Law Firm is that go-to reliever. They'll help with criminal law as well, traffic offenses, DWIs, and more. Call the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688, 479-877-1688, or online at teague-law.com. If they can't help you, they'll talk baseball. And if you're talking baseball and they got a court case they got to into court for, they're going to court. 877-377-6963 if you want to call in or text in on halftime. Here's Jay, who's called in from Rogers. Hi, Jay. Thanks for calling. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Friday.
Thanks. You too.
Hey, I was wondering, and I hope you didn't already answer this question, but I was wondering with the wind, with the baseball game tonight, and the wind blowing as hard as it is outside, is that going to be blowing in or out? And if so, who do you think it'll favor?
Yeah, I just saw on my weather app, it is a red flag warning. I could tell it was windy because the flags, including the red-dominated Diamond State flag, is starched, blowing out to left field today. 16-mile-an-hour wind steady at the moment, gusts up to 28 miles an hour. It's out of the west-southwest, so it's blowing out to left field. Yeah, it's a hitter's day, Jay. And it's a day to hang up in the middle of the call, too. All right, we'll come back with more halftime in just a moment. Stay with us.
This is halftime.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Novo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Nick bought a new guitar, a 62 American Classic Electric. Does he know how to play? No. But Nick's Empower investment account has performed well. He got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risks. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a really, really, really good guitar solo.
Kind of like, well, what are you going to wear? And I was kind of looked at Clay. I was like, kind of what Clay has on right now.
This is halftime. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Coming to you live here on ESPN 95.3, it's Colton Little, and I'm at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. That's 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw. I'm here right now because they're having an awesome competition between their salesmen. It's the Pick Your Salesman Showdown at Harry Robinson happening right now. Today is the last day of the sale, and these guys are competing to try and make sure they get the most amount of sales individually. But they can only do that if they get you a great deal. And that's the name of the game here, and it always has been at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. If you're looking for a great deal and the best customer service in the business, you'll find it at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. Hey, while you're here, maximize that tax return you might have just gotten back and take advantage of these matching down payments. We have up to $2,000 in matching down payments right now at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, so come see him. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw, Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Happy pathetic little me.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley,
96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Ooh, what a neat photo. I see Army baseball is traveling to Air Force. And they're I don't know what cargo plane it is, but it's a cargo plane of some sort, either a C-130 or a C-17. Got all the baseball equipment in the middle of the fuselage. The cadets, we'll call them, because they are sitting side by side on either side of the fuselage, and they're wearing their fatigues. It's I guess it's different dress code for baseball teams when you're in the U.S. military academy than we might have for the baseball team at Arkansas. Now, the dress code for flying for Arkansas is khaki pants, a Razorback shirt, and then go from there. The dress code for Army baseball for flying on a C-17 is Army fatigues. Seems to fit.
Wouldn't you feel like the safest ever if you're on like the Army plane? Like you'd be like, I think I feel pretty safe in the Army plane.
I think I would too. Yes. And I don't know if Army always travels like this. I would guess not, to travel around the American Conference in an Army, in a military cargo plane. But if you're going from the U.S. Military Academy to the Air Force Academy, it makes perfect sense because they already have flights going back and forth between them anyway. Steph Curry, how about this one, Matt? 56 points yesterday. This was one of his three-pointers.
The post rolling in. Pitch out to Paczynski. He drops once. Nothing there. Shot clock at 1. Curry, 3-point shot. And of course it's good. 52 in the game. Steph Curry on the kick out. This under a second left when he lets this one go.
How about that? 56 points for Steph in a 121-115 win over the Magic. Had a couple of the former Razorbacks involved in this. Moses Moody's been starting now. I think he started the last 8 games, and they had Anthony Black coming off the bench with 20 minutes. It looked like Black played pretty well, but the star yesterday, Steph Curry.
Man, he can still fill it up. Yeah, you're still waiting for Anthony Black to kind of take that next step. I think Orlando's going to be in the playoffs this year. Moses Moody, I mean, good for him. What's it been, 5 years now since he's left Arkansas, finally getting in the rotation a little bit and playing meaningful minutes. I don't know that, that Jimmy Butler trade, I don't know if they're big enough. You look at the West, where they're going to go. I even like Memphis, I think, over Golden State. But Oklahoma City and Denver, I think, are the class. They're the cream this year in the Western Conference. But you got to appreciate Steph Curry for what he is. And that's what, when I was watching that Johnson kid from Texas play, you're thinking, all right, well, who does he remind you of? What's his comparable? If you're a lottery pick, you got to, well, then so be it. You got to be projected as a lottery pick. And he has a little Steph Curry in him, that unlimited range. You wonder who he's going to guard. I think Steph Curry had better vision at that age. But yeah, there's something to work on right there. I wonder how tall, because I wonder what Steph's listed as. That Johnson kid, he might be 6'3". You wonder if he really is a legitimate 6'6", but there's no question that dude could fill it up.
I think they got Steph listed at 6'2".
That's what I thought that Johnson kid was. He kind of reminded me of a Steph Curry, almost like a little smaller James Harden, the way he can always drive to the hoop still and finish, but doesn't really play above the rim. Harden had a couple years where he could play a little bit, but he was never really an above the rim player.
Well, if you're going to be, I figure if you're going to be a first-round pick, you have to at least do one.
He's
or
elite
two
at something.
Things.
You got to be at least elite at something if you're a lottery pick. That's
exactly.
right.
You have to. So in this case, I think Trey Johnson's elite skill is just putting the ball in the hoop.
It's a good skill to have.
Yeah, however it is, it happens. But I think we would anticipate that goes along with, like you said, playing above the rim. But he doesn't. But Steph doesn't either. But playing above the rim or playing from 6 feet behind the 3-point line, man, that's a skill that'll play in today's NBA for certain. 36 years old, Steph is still putting in 24 points per game and has never, he has never scored any fewer than 15 points a game his third year, and since then he's been at least a 20 to 25 point scorer per game every single year. Also saw a note today in 1967, Wilt Chamberlain missed his first field goal in 4 games. You remember last year, Daniel Gafford came, I think it was 2 shots away from Chamberlain's all-time record for consecutive made field goals, and Gafford finished with 33. Chamberlain had 35, and it ended today in 1967 in a game that Chamberlain played for Philadelphia against Cincinnati in Syracuse. Yeah, it was the Philadelphia Warriors against the Cincinnati Royals in Syracuse, New York, which is nowhere near either Philly or Cincinnati, so go figure.
Man, I bet they were dressing up in their Mad Men suits and smoking their big cigars watching that game. I bet that would have been a wild experience to go to that basketball game in '67. Just the difference in how it is now.
No kidding. And just the idea that Cincinnati was an NBA city. Syracuse was too. They used to have a team called the Nationals, but I guess they were hosting some Philadelphia games or something. Yeah, crazy. Gafford made 33 in a row last year. Daniel's making 69.9% of his field goal attempts this year, and he's third in the league in field goal percentage. He led the NBA last year with a shooting percentage of .725. And you shouldn't even call it a shooting percentage, right? Because if most of these shots, if not all of them, are dunks, I don't know if you can call it a shot, a dunking percentage. Not like I know what it feels like to do that anyway. Yeah, he led the NBA last year, .725, 4th all-time in a single year. Daniel Gafford. Today's Luka's birthday. Speaking of former Mavericks.
What is he, 26 now? 20.
I think he's 27.
27, yeah.
Not going to be any difference, really, between 26 and 27.
He's the new face for the Lakers. You had Lou Alcindor who left Milwaukee after winning a title. Kawhi Leonard left Toronto to go to L.A. after winning a title. Lou Al was younger. Kawhi's kind of at the end of his career, but you don't see players that are 25, 26 and under in the prime of their career take a team to the finals and then get traded in the middle of the season. It's still kind of shocking.
You were right, too. He is 26 today. Today's his 26th birthday. And that's the other aspect of it, too. It's like, okay, somebody that helps get a team to the finals if you're in your mid-30s, early 30s, and there's that noticeable decline. If it's a free agent year, sometimes they'll let you walk. 26 is a heck of a lot different. That's not on the downslope of anything. And then I was reminded the other day, that Auburn – the Auburn guy who barked back at the Razorbacks, Chad Baker Mazzara, he's 25 years old. Yeah.
Oh, number 10? They're sixth man of the year? No wonder he's good being in college at age 25. That's a cheat code.
That's got to be something that you take into an account. He was good previously, but if you're and it's the same in baseball. You'll get sooner or later we're going to see an at-bat this year with somebody who's like 25 or 26 against an 18-year-old pitcher or vice versa.
When do we get our first 30-year-old college athlete? For whatever reason, they go to BYU and go on a mission. They go play baseball for a couple years. How close is our guy from being 30? I know we have one on the team right now.
Marty Harrison, I think he's 31.
He's already 30, so actually whenever a 30-year-old starts to contribute, though, is what I mean. When are we going to have a 30-year-old that's actually, doing good?
I hope he's the guy.
I hope he is, too.
Because to me, I thought, maybe it takes a little more time to relearn football and get into football playing shape instead of baseball. So maybe this next season. But, yeah, I mean, he had the 10-year major league career. He didn't have the the Mormon mission. He didn't have the junior college years or the medical redshirt year or anything like that. It's coming though, but what about the idea of somebody that doesn't have the baseball career, that just went the junior college route, that ends up being 30 years old, or there are gap years between the end of high school and college for some folks. I think I should have done that. If I look back on my first year of college, I probably should have learned the value of $1 and putting in a hard day's work before I actually went to school and didn't turn into an idiot. That's where my idiocy got magnified for that first year. But what about a gap 3 years between high school and college, and then somebody goes in to be an athlete, and the next thing you know, 7 years later, a couple of medical red shirts, don't have the COVID year anymore. You get a 27-year-old against somebody who's 18, and they never did play baseball. Yeah, we're on the way to that. But that hit me, though. Luka Doncic, it feels like he's been around for a long time because he has. What did he get into the NBA at the age of? He's been in the NBA.
He's been a professional since he was 12, though.
This is his 8th year.
Yeah. So, but it's his 16th season, I think. He's been a professional basketball player since he was 12, I believe.
You know, we'll say that about the guys that are coming out of Europe, and you pointed out how that is true because of the system and how they develop players. You have kids who are 12 years old here that are I think in their mind are almost like a professional athlete. You know, the travel teams and all the elite all-star teams and everything, and they end up, I think, in some cases, it's not all cases, but in some cases, it's almost like treating your youth athlete as a professional athlete, and then that kid has to, view what they're doing in a little bit of a different way, almost like it's a job. And I anticipate the idea of you got to learn hard work, you got to learn how to put all the time in and everything, but I never want a teenager to feel like the sport that he or she is playing is a job. I got into this conversation with Bubba, Matt, on the last baseball broadcast. There's nobody in this dugout. The guys are coming out for batting practice right now. Nobody in the Arkansas dugout, nobody in the Charlotte dugout that has been through the ringer, been through all the politics of what it's like to be a professional athlete. They haven't become jaded. They haven't become bitter. And it's not a value judgment on people that do, because when you're a professional athlete, and I saw this a lot in the minor leagues, you don't realize what it is that sometimes gets you promoted or viewed differently than somebody else. It's not always your performance, and I've seen the bitterness that comes from that. I don't want kids to feel the same way. I don't want them to feel like they're always competing against their own teammates. And I know politics goes into who it is, not politics in terms of government, just interpersonal relationship politics as to whom will start a game or get playing time or everything. You got parents arguing at each other. And I know it's been something that's been going on for years. It's just youth sports now, Matt, feels much more professional, I think, than it ever has before. It leaves a little bit of a rough taste in my mouth about it. I got a kid who's playing senior league baseball. I do appreciate the way their coaches handle it, but I've seen some others where it's like, you're squeezing the joy out of this.
Yeah, growing up with a coach as a father and both my parents being teachers, I've been around it my entire life. I know what you're saying.
877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. I'm in this spot with my son Gabe. He's 12, and he's moved to the 90-foot bases, 60 feet 6 inches. And we've talked about it's been a long time for him to even get to the point where he felt comfortable to swing a bat. He was so nervous in the batter's box. And so I had the conversation with him about, all right, well, if you're gonna move up to this league, and we had to talk to you really want to play this. If you're going to do it, well, do it the right way. We're not going to treat this as a job, but we do need to have a catch every day. We need to strengthen your throwing arm. We need to maybe go on a run every once in a while. Because if you're going to do it, you want to do it right. You just want to do it right as a kid and still be a kid. Because when I think of baseball, I know it's a game that's played by grown men. Those grown men still, I think, will acknowledge that they're playing a kid's game. It's just the kids aren't always the ones throwing it 96, 97 miles an hour. And that is one aspect that I really appreciate about being around for college baseball. And I loved the time I spent in the minor leagues, and still hope at some point that I'll be doing some big league team at some point. I don't know when it'll happen, but maybe it does. If it doesn't, great. This is perfect. But I love that those guys in that dugout wearing the Razorback uniform, none of them are jaded. None of them. They're all optimistic. That some of them will have that optimism beaten out of them in the next few years. That's just a fact. That's how it happens. That's how it works. But I get to be around them before it happens, and I appreciate that. Brought to you by our friends at LearnNet.com. You can get all your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button. LearnNet not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. The site also includes exclusive deals and baits that you're not going to find anywhere else for all your favorite brands. And LearnNet features free shipping on all U.S. orders over $35. Be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures at LearnNet.com. Now stay with us. Back to wrap up the second hour after this.
This is halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Live again here on ESPN 95.3. I'm Colton Little, 1 mile south of exit 308 here off of I-40 in Sallisaw. I'm in Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford, and folks, let me tell you, it is an absolute dandy of a day outside right now. The Razorbacks are hopefully going to try and take advantage of the Charlotte Miners coming into town for the baseball series this weekend. And hey, you come to Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford, you can take advantage of the great deals they have going on right now. If you just got your tax return back, come see Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford to maximize that tax return with the matching $2,000 down payment. That's right, they'll match up to $2,000 in down payments right now through today during the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event. They're having a little competition between the sales guys, trying to see who can win the most sales and earn themselves a free vacation. And hey, these guys aren't going to turn any of your offers down. So come see them today, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw. It's Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, your life can change in an instant. And you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw & Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at VotawLaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at GoForsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Ty Richardson, we're live here at First Financial Mortgage. I'm here with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know I probably texted you 100 times during this process, man. I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, you did.
Yeah, Ty. It was always great working with you. Glad we could help you get closed. A good loan officer is someone who can answer questions after hours, before hours, and be available when you're needed. We get pre-qualifications in, get buyers pre-qualified so they can search for homes and get them closed quick. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Don't mess up. I want you here. In my room. I want you here. Now with all of you face to face. And I'll lay right down in my favorite place. Now I wanna be your star. Now I wanna be your star. Now I wanna be your star.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
So I counted 20 different national days today. I can't call them holidays. Holidays, you like get a day off for it, and you give people cards and celebrate with big dinners and go to church or synagogue or whatever. These are not holidays. These are just days that some lobbying organization has created to get us to talk about them. So I guess today is a day to talk about chocolate soufflés or Andalusia or floral design or standing up to bullying or essays. That sounds like that'd be a lot of fun to talk about your favorite essay, huh? Pancakes. Here's one that's good. National Public Sleeping Day. We can celebrate all of our favorite narcoleptics at today's baseball game. I'll be counting however many people are falling asleep during the game, and it ain't because baseball's boring for those out there who think it is.
Yeah, I heard the stat that 2 out of every 4 kids that are picked on actually deserved it.
Were they sleeping in class? If that's the case, the teacher may have actually done that for them too. Public sleeping and bullying all rolled together. I once wrote a column in the student newspaper at my high school rating each classroom based upon the comfort level of the desks for sleeping. They let me publish it too. It was the chemistry class that had the best desks for sleeping. I slept in class every once in a while, Matt. Now you had teachers for parents, so did you stay awake in class?
We would do when we would get a substitute teacher. I would say I would be somebody else, or somebody else would say they were. Like when they're going roll call, we would do stuff like that. But no, every time I did anything, my parents found out about it before I could walk to the principal's office. So
Yeah.
it wasn't.
My parents didn't have an idea that I was really good at figuring out the best place to sleep. You always knew the best desks because you would drool the most on that desk because you wouldn't move at all, and then you could.
I was
tell
more
based
like
upon the
George.
circumference of the drool.
Almost like George Costanza. I needed to know where all the best bathrooms were, because if you got to go number 2, we had our junior high. I'm not kidding you. There's 8 stalls in the bathroom and none of them had a door.
Same at my. Did we go to the same school?
You're like, can I get it? Like, I'm just trying to use the rest. I don't need you. What's going on?
What is it that everybody's doing in the stalls that we can't actually have doors in the high schools, though? I mean, this is 30 years ago. They didn't have doors in these stalls. It wasn't because they were making phone calls in there. Yes, the bathroom smelled a lot different than any other bathroom. But yeah, what do you think you do? Can anybody actually use a bathroom that doesn't have a stall? Don't fall asleep in that bathroom either, since it is National Public Sleeping Day. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. Joe's Grilling Cantina has been chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. They make it daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try the sizzling fajita skillets and crunchy tacos on Tuesday. And Joe's great enchilada homemade sauce. It's the best around. And get out there for Fajita Friday today. It's Joe's Grilling Cantina, 3400 South 74th, across from Harps and Fort Smith, joesfortsmith.com. We have Neil Atkinson from Bet Sarazen coming on in a moment, so stay with halftime.
Harry Robinson Salasol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Razorback softball season is here, and Courtney Deifel and the Bogle Bombers need your support at Bogle Park this season. Single game tickets are on sale now, and you can secure your seat to watch some of the best softball in the country. Adult tickets are only $10, while kids get in for just $5. Head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com or call the Razorback ticket office at 479-575-5151 to purchase your tickets today to Razorback softball.
Hey, Ty Richardson back in my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria in downtown Fort Smith here with Brooklyn, one of the new gals. Y'all got a great special on Monday, Brooklyn.
Yes, we have our $3 domestic drafts, our Bud Lights, Miller Lights, Coors Light, Yingling, Shiner Bock, Michelob Ultra, some super cold mugs, and 10 wings for $8.95.
Come on by and see us at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine, a bit on the breezy side, with highs around 70. Southwest winds could gust up to 30 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the low to mid 40s. Sunny skies and cooler on Saturday as a weak front works through the area. Highs in the upper 50s to mid 60s. Mostly clear Saturday night with lows in the 30s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
They're on a mission. This team wants to make sure that we get to the end.
All of the Omahawks. Yes, sir.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one today. You got a team in here that was respected.
If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back in on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson with Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. We'll be calling Neil Atkinson here for a segment. Got him in a little bit early since I got to get out for baseball. And breaking news coming out of the NFL here, Matt. Matthew Stafford is not going to be traded by the Rams. He's agreed to a restructured deal to stay with Los Angeles for the time being. So it's not going to get traded, and I think that plays right into exactly the opinion you had. Why move on somewhere else?
Well, the Rams were just as, late in the season. They kind of were. They didn't start off as good, and then they figured it out. Man, Stafford's when you have a top 10 quarterback, Phil, you don't trade him. I don't know. But that still has multiple years in his prime. I mean, he's still as good as anybody for the next 3. Now, he's not. I don't think he plays 7 more years. But like he's. I think he has a legitimate shot to play 2 more really high end years. And the Rams, great coach. The way they got things going there, they were a play away. They were the closest, I think, of any team in the playoffs to beating Philly.
And other headlines, at least coming off of the ESPN website, does not look like we are expecting to see the NCAA tournament expanded for next year. We have Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen on the phones. Neil, good afternoon and a happy Friday to you. It's the start of our golden hour. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for this weekend's golden hour. After the last couple of weeks and whatnot, I'm ready to settle down and to get ready for the madness of March. So I think it kind of kicks off this weekend, with seeding and for conference tournaments and the teams that are there on the bubble. So there's some exciting ball to be had here this last full week of the regular season with it ended next Saturday. And it's hard to believe. Look how close we are to Selection Sunday. 2 weeks from Sunday, we're at Selection Sunday, and we got the play-in games the Tuesday after that. So it's here.
Yeah, and basketball tomorrow. It's less than 24 hours now. South Carolina game is at 12 noon. When you're reading the data coming in from your bettors, and there's mostly Arkansas fans, of course, within this state. Do you get the sense that people are more optimistic now, depending on which way the money flows?
Well, I have about $250,000 from the Texas game that we paid out for that game going into overtime. And yeah, they are really, with the streak that they're on and what they were able to do against Missouri, they carried that momentum in against Texas. The Arkansas bettors backed them big in that game. And I think it's one of the biggest payouts on an Arkansas win that we've had, since the 0-5 conference start, And I'm glad to see it because it looks like unless there's an unmitigated disaster, they win the games they're supposed to win, probably win at least one in the tournament. I think they're guaranteed to be in. And from me as a bookmaker, we wanted to see them in because we noticed a huge trail off last year when they were not in the tournament. So I'm glad that they're in to get that there. They are a 2.5-point favorite at South Carolina, and South Carolina's played people tough at home this year, and the over and under is 36.5. So I think it's really important they go and get this win because I think it's going to be a little bit tougher on Tuesday at Vanderbilt. We all know Memorial Gym is a tough place to play, and the 9:00 starts has got me a little perplexed, but I know why. They're trying to fit 3 TV games in that day. So hey, we're on TV. It's an SEC game. I'll lose some. I go to bed early because I'm up real early in the morning, but that one will keep me up a little late, just like the overtime game did. But hey, that's all part of it, and I could have a job digging ditches instead of watching sports and monitoring sports. So it's all good.
Baseball's got Charlotte today. I know last week when we were in Arlington, there was the possibility of doing certain kind of in-game betting that you hadn't done before. Is that something that can continue this weekend? I know you said it's not for every game throughout the year.
Yeah. So, for instance, the Arkansas and Charlotte game, it does not have the in-play icon by it. So that one would not have the scouts there at the game to where we can do the in-play. I'm hoping they get there tomorrow. You would think with a baseball tournament like we're having this weekend, we could get the scouts there, but I'm kind of relying on the data providers to do that one. So this particular game today will not be. I think the ones tomorrow are on the schedule to be it. But you'll know as soon as we put the line out for tomorrow's game, you'll see the little in-play icon beside it, and you'll know we'll have live. But we've kind of supplemented with the specials that we got going against Charlotte. Of course, we got those specials, and I'm telling you the ones they are really, really gravitating towards are like Arkansas to score in the first inning. Yes and no. We've got Arkansas team first hit. Will it be a single, double, home run, triple, no hits? Those markets, and we've even got the first pitch markets, whether it's a strike or a ball. So those are a lot of fun, and people are really gravitating towards those because we try to settle those as soon as those happen, and that way you can have those quick hit bets.
I noticed one that was close to my heart the other day when I was checking through the app, and it was called the Fair Pole Special. I don't see it there now, but when you had a ball hit off the fair pole by Vahiva Aloy last weekend, it's a little more difficult to hit the pole at college parks because the fair poles aren't as tall as they are in big league ballparks. So I think the chances to hit them here at this ballpark are considerably less.
Yeah, and if you want me to put, if I can put another fair pole special up, I was just kind of doing that in honor of you, and I'll see if I can't put one up. The game goes off here in about 2 hours. I probably can get a fair pole special up again. I might need a little help. Let me know if it hits in there because we don't have the in play. But yeah, I'll as soon as I get off here, I'll spin one up for us.
Neil, I noticed there was talk that one of the national competitors has really struggled, ESPN Bet, and looking at the local, more regional operators, I don't think we see that kind of struggling. Certainly not in the state of Arkansas. Bet Saracens at the top of the list. What do you think is happening there in terms of national apps compared to statewide apps?
Well, we do have a different competitive environment. Arkansas chose, like some of the other states, to where the licensees for the sports book have to be tied to a casino operation. And the only reason we have legal sports betting in this state without having to go through the legislator and all of that, because it was included in Amendment 100 that allowed casino betting. So that's why we were able to spin it up and get it when the Gaming Commission changed the rules to allow mobile for us to get up. ESPN is kind of coming into the game late. They converted their customers over from Barstool Sports, and actually it's really Penn National, which is a casino company that runs casinos like branded that you might know, like Hollywood Casino and a lot of others that are in the region. So they had to rebrand that product, and while they were rebranding and changing over, a lot of their customers went to the other national apps. And when you are not first to the game and you're not there when the market opens up, you are always fighting a uphill battle to get your customer acquisition. And I think over the next 2 or 3 years, there's going to be some more it's the number of operators. We've seen a lot of them, quit doing business because it's such a highly competitive landscape. And that's that's where ESPN is having its struggle. Getting along there because they were late to the game, and it's a rebranding of another product. So you always have an uphill battle there. Penn made a decision to brand that and pay those licensing fees. That licensing fee for that goes into 2026, the end of that season. So it's going to be real interesting to see if the ESPN is still going to lend their brand name to that casino company to market that app. And I think they're on the clock to get in that situation right, because with Disney being the parent company, they don't want to have second fiddle to anybody. They want to be up front and center. So let's see what they do with it. But it's going to be a tough go for them, because people like to stay with the first app that they download. So that's why that's so important.
I think customer service is another reason why. Hey, the Combine is going on right now in Indianapolis. It'll go through the weekend, and then the draft is just about a month and a half away from there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all the information comes through. So I would anticipate props on the NFL draft coming out sometime after the Combine is complete.
Nah, you don't have to wait. We've already got them up. You'll go to the football tab, some of the fun markets that we've got is the team to draft Travis Hunter. And Tennessee Titans have the first pick in the draft. I don't know if they haven't traded it away that I know of yet, But right now, the New York Giants are the favorite to get him, followed by the Cleveland Browns, New England Patriots, Jaguars, and then the Titans. So the odds are pretty close for the first five teams, with Tennessee Titans and the Jaguars at plus 500, with the New York Giants at plus 350. The next one that is a little bit competitive is Ashton Genty, and he's favored to go to the Cowboys at plus 260, and the Bears at 325. We also have Mr. Irrelevant up. People like to bet Mr. Irrelevant. That's the last person draft, and we've got that one by position, where the favorite in that one is defensive line edge, followed by pretty close by offensive lineman. So we've got all the positions. We've got the first quarterback market up, the first overall pick up, and then we've got the team to pick first. And the Tennessee Titans, of course, are minus 250 on that one. But if they trade that away, the Giants are right behind at plus 220. So study and see what happens with these combines and see if any of these numbers change after all the combine is done.
Neil, hope it all goes well over the weekend for your customers is what I mean, and we appreciate you coming on these Fridays. Have a great weekend.
All right, and good luck. And, yes, I do want to, even though I'm going to lose money, if they do cover and win, I want to see the Razorbacks win, because we definitely want to see them hopefully get a first-round bye in the SEC tournament. They're getting close to where they might be able to get that, and not have to play on that first day. And, of course, we want them in the big dance, and that will be really, really big. And I'm glad they're peaking, even though they're shorthanded at the end of the year, instead of going on that bad SEC run like they started the year. I'm glad it's flip-flop, because they got a good chance to get there, and we hope to see them there. Good luck on your parlays this weekend.
It's Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, downloaded for the iPhone from the App Store. Android users use Google Play. You can type it into any web browser, betsaracen.com. 877-377-6963 to get with Matt and Christian on halftime. They'll take over for the remainder of the show, and they're back after this.
This is the worst-looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
This is halftime.
Zavonimir with a block on one end. He's going to launch a three on the other. It's good, and Arkansas's within three.
After that big Z3, it kind of felt like they were going to do it, didn't it?
Man, I thought. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade. Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for...
Our Choice Sales Event. Choose up to $2,000 in instant savings or a 36-month Honda Care Protection Plan. That's extra coverage worth up to $44.60 included at no extra cost. This offer applies to all new 40 to 350 horsepower Honda Marine outboards now through March 31st, 2025. Don't miss this limited time deal at Heartland Honda Power Sports Marine in Springdale. Save big or get extra peace of mind. The choice is yours. Visit Heartland Honda Power Sports Marine today. Exit 72 from I-49 just north of Cracker Barrel.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All right, here the golden hour, halftime, this Friday edition on your March 1st Eve, last day of February. How was February for you, Unit? Was it okay?
Yeah, this year, I mean, these first 2 months have flown by this year. It just seems like it was New Year's the other day. I mean, it's crazy how time flies when you get older and you work and you just...
It's Christmas, and then it's New Year's, and then it's the College Football National Championship, and then it's the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden golf season gets here. Yeah. It's about to be March Madness and the Final Four, always that first weekend in April. You got the Masters coming up, leading up to
time kind of slows down during March Madness. I mean, it's just, a really big tournament, and there's days in between games. It kind of makes it fun whenever your team's in it and they're winning, and it just makes it more exciting. And March Madness, man, it's awesome.
It's how can you make it to the second weekend before you throw your bracket away? That's for sure. If you want to get in with us, please do here today on Halftime. We got a couple segments left, wrapping it up this Friday, 877-377-6963. Kind of want to get your thoughts on Matthew Stafford. I thought he should stay with the Rams, so it looks like it's going to work out there. Also want to get your thoughts. Is Jalen Hurts a Hall of Famer? What else does he have to do? You win 2 Super Bowls, you're a Hall of Famer, right? How many has he won?
He's won 1. He's been to 2, though.
He's been to 2.
So I mean, that right there isn't.
They go back to back and win another Super Bowl. He's a Hall of Famer, even though he's not necessarily. So he's got one more to go to.
I think if he gets another Super Bowl, that should solidify his case. But
what about Matthew Stafford? He's got one. He's trying to get another one. You think? I mean, the Rams they got a pretty nice team, and if they got some more money, so the cap just went up 23%. That's more money to spend that you didn't know you were going to have, and then Stafford's doing what some of these veteran quarterbacks. If you look at Tom Brady, you look at Drew Brees, Big Ben. What Stafford I think's made over $450 million. And it's, hey, go make your money. Not saying anything like that, but there's restructure it to try to have a chance to go win another chip.
I think what hurt Matt Stafford was being in Detroit. I mean, he carried that team most years, him and Megatron. But after that, it got pretty, desolate for the Lions. And you saw what he was capable of doing when you put some talent around him and good coaching. So, but as it stands, incredible career. To me, he's kind of on the same. Even though Romo's never been to a Super Bowl, I kind of see them on the same level as far as
Stafford and Romo.
Yeah, I'd probably give a little bit of an edge to Stafford, but I see them as kind of a similar type quarterback. Stafford didn't have quite the teams that Romo did, but I don't know that if I was voting, I don't know. That's tough, man. I'm almost 50-50 on if he's a Hall of Famer or not, but if there's a question about it, you might as well give it to him because, I mean, what did Eli Manning get in there?
He got 2 Super Bowls. Eli Manning will be in that's the thing. The thing is, if you're a quarterback and you win 2 Super Bowls in the NFL, you're a Hall of Fame, and that's how it goes. And so because even though Phillip Rivers never even made it to a Super Bowl, I would have Phillip Rivers as a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If Jalen Hurts never won a Super Bowl, there's no way he's a Hall of Famer. But you go out and you do that, it's pretty not and you don't play the game for that. That's not the reason you play the game. That's something that we get a chance to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we all like to equate, Super Bowls to Hall of Fame, but man, if that was the case, Dan Marino wouldn't be in there. But, the definition of an MVP is somebody that had a great career, put up a lot of good numbers. That's probably closer to the definition, not somebody who, won 3 or 4 Super Bowls. That just, that's just icing on the cake, man. That's just, most people don't do what Brady did, Montana did, even Aikman. I mean, it's just. Yeah, but I think Stafford deserves. I think that was a good comparison with Phillip Rivers because, man, he had games where it seemed like he was just on another level. But winning Super Bowls is more of a team accomplishment than a quarterback accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts isn't even the best quarterback in his own division. What do the Cowboys do? I know you're a C Cowboy. Couple questions. I want to know what you think. The Cowboys, who are they going to draft? You got the combine coming up, and for everybody who's just now tuning in, Landon Jackson, 40-inch vertical, 40.5, 6'6", 270. I had him as a top 100 pick before the combine. I think he just jumped himself into a top 50 pick, and maybe he could be late first round, early second round, but I don't think he slides past the second round.
Yeah, Landon Jackson's is a beast, and he's got he's one of the guys that lived up to the hype coming in. The reason he wasn't more dominant is because people were double teaming him a lot, and despite that, he was able to really be a force for the Arkansas defensive line.
What do you think? You think this is Travis Kelce's last year?
It's really. I mean, it's just up in the air. You never know because on a whim they can just decide they don't want to play. It's kind of like Gronkowski. That's kind of, if you're going to make a decision, stick to it. Obviously, don't go back and forth with it. But if I had something going as good as the Chiefs have had, I know they've won 3 Super Bowls already together. I mean, that's a great career right there. But I mean, say they got that three-peat this year, that would have been probably the best time to retire, honestly. But he's probably he's still wanting to prove, got stuff to prove because of the way the season ended. And, once you've reached the mountaintop 2 or 3 times, you kind of get more and more hungry, especially when you get knocked off that pedestal a little bit. I could see him maybe coming back, and if they get, 1 or 2 more, then he'd probably call it quits. But you never know in this day and age. He's set for life. He's got a great. They're not married yet, are they? Him and Taylor Swift. I don't think they're married yet, but definitely.
I don't even know if they've done the engagement.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
This new wave. I don't know how many people believe in stuff.
It may not
like
be
that
cool anymore to date
Yeah.
once he does retire. People do things for clout nowadays, but not saying they are. But
I'm really
it's
pulling
just
for
kind of
those
the vibe
two
I
kids.
get.
You got I don't know. Are you excited? So we had the passing of Gene Hackman, the late great actor.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Like I said, he had came and spoke to the team when I was in Jacksonville, so I got to be around him for 12 minutes. But it was pretty cool. So we got C Homework gets to watch a movie and for his homework this weekend, and we've given him Unforgiven. And it's Morgan Freeman, Clint Eastwood. It's it's English Bob, the guy that played Joaquin Phoenix's dad in Gladiator. He's an English theater drama guy, but he does a great show as well.
He was in a lot of movies.
But I know you're excited about that. It's John Turturro's birthday today, unit. And John Turturro would be another great actor of my generation, your generation as well. He's turning 68 today. He did movies like The Quiz Show, The Good Shepherd, Mr. Deeds, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Rounders, The Big Lebowski. So I don't know if you've seen any of those, but I celebrate his entire catalog.
Yeah, man, definitely recognize his face. There's one movie that I kind of sticks out when I think of Gene Hackman, but I can't put my finger on it.
Hoosiers?
That's it. That's exactly what it is. I don't know how I forgot that, but that's really the only movie I think I've seen with him.
There's he's like, Skinny, you gonna be the first billiards baron, and he's like, well, he wasn't Little Bill, he wasn't scared. He just ain't no carpenter. And then one homie's got one arm and he's got 3 pistols, and he's like, I don't want to get killed on the fact of shooting back. It's it's got some good westernisms in there, so to speak. So I think you'll dig it.
Yeah, I trust you guys. You guys, most of the time I've enjoyed the movies you guys have suggested. So
And then if not, we'll get a comedy next with we'll do that. We'll do a John Turturro one. Rounders is amazing. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Secret Window, The Good Shepherd, The Big Lebowski. I mean, that's just to name a few. Well, we're just moving right along here. Right here, we're gonna get into a little NCAA basketball talk. Talking about tournament teams. Talking about who do you guys think out there that are the 4 number 1 seeds? I got Alabama, Auburn, Duke, and Houston. Those are my 4 number 1 seeds if the tournament started today. But any other nominees? Anybody else got any other team you think is worthy of a number 1 seed? Call us, text us 877-377-6963.
Yeah, definitely got to put Duke up there, but I'm not a total believer in Alabama just yet as being a number 1 seed. Now they're obviously good. They're going to be at least a 2 seed most likely, but man, I don't.
Well, let's debate it a little bit. Let's calibrate on it a little bit, and we'll go to a break, and then we'll come back and then we'll discuss it a little bit. All right.
Got a 911 with a quadraphonic blow pop. Don't need a quadraphonic blow pop. What you need is a curveball.
This is halftime.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Coming to you live here on ESPN 95.3, it's Colton Little. I'm out here at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford today for the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event and Ford Truck Month. That's right, all wrapped up into one here on the final day of the month. Come to Harry Robinson Sallisaw today and walk away with your new set of wheels. Whether it be one of these new 2024 Ford Expeditions or one of the 2024 Ford F-150s, you can get over $10,000 in discounts right now, including matching down payments of up to $2,000. So do yourself a favor, come down to Harry Robinson today and see what kind of deals these guys can work out for you, because really that's the whole name of the game. You're not going to find the best for your trade or the best deal anywhere else other than right here at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw. Come see Harry and the guys and help them win a nice free vacation for themselves at the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event happening now at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountainburg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
At Central Hydraulic in Fort Smith, the work doesn't just stop when the temperature drops. We're your go-to service provider. Be sure to prep your machine and stay ahead of the frost and costly damage. Still using summer oil? Winter-friendly oil is the weapon your machine needs. Be sure to get an oil change. Check your hydraulic fluid, fuel prep, and battery check. For all these services needed in the cold weather months, come see Central Hydraulic for all your hydraulic needs at 6104 Highway 271 South or call at 479-646-0571. Central Hydraulic, your service provider.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Finding your way down on Baker Street, light in your head and dead on your feet. Another crazy day, drinking right away. This city stands makes you feel so cold. It's got so many people, but it's got no soul, and it's taking you so long. I hope you
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, back here, halftime. Got a couple segments left. Phil Elson getting ready to get the baseball game going on. Have we found out, Unit, if when we get done with this show, does it go to Ruskin and Zach, or do they go to the baseball game?
Yeah, I think it'll go to Ruskin and Zach. I can tell you in just a second.
So stick around. We got those guys coming up next. For all the soccer lovers out there, Bayern Munich is they just kicked off 8-minute right now. You got Harry Kane leading the line today. You got your boy Leroy Sané, who's just an absolute G on the wing. You got Canadians' best, Alphonso Davies, playing left back, and then one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Manuel Neuer. But I don't really have him in my top 5, but I know if you're playing goalkeeper for Bayern Munich, you're amazing. So that's going on right now. Pretty fun. And then you get a baseball game tonight. You get the Razorbacks tomorrow, South Carolina. Unit, is this a trap game? Is this a game where we better be ready with our 7 guys?
The fact that, we do have 7 guys, but even though we just beat Texas, going on the road is always tough, and you got 7 guys. I don't know. It just seems, even if you're healthy, it seems like a game that, like, even let's say we had all 9, it just still wouldn't be easy on paper, especially the way South Carolina has played at home. They've really challenged a lot of teams, and I expect it's always tough winning there, but I do expect the Hogs to get the win. It's just going to be probably a lot uglier than most Razorback fans want it to be, but man, I can't say I feel great about it though. I just feel about it.
South Carolina 11-17. They'll be ready to go. I know they got a big that can go. I wonder how healthy they are. But they'll be looking at this as an opportunity. I know as a competitor, as an athlete, you're trying to win. I mean, there's a reason they're keeping score, and you're trying to be the victor.
Murray Boyles is the guy that kind of makes things go for them.
16 points a game.
Yeah.
He's averaging 8 boards a game. Yeah, he's kind of doing it. 1 steal, 1 block. He's kind of doing it all.
Yeah, he's just he's a load down inside, and it's going to be a challenge for, I think, well, both Big Z and Adu are both going to play, but whoever's guarding that guy is going to have to really dig in, because he's tough. He's tough to handle down there, but other than that, I mean, they just can't shoot. But I don't know. It's like sometimes at home, people they have confidence. And was it Phil saying it earlier? I can't remember, but yeah, just playing with nothing to lose. Sometimes you can be a really dangerous team. It may have been Chuck earlier, but I agreed with that. It's just like they don't have nothing to lose, man. They're just out there having fun, and why not upset somebody and ruin somebody's tournament chance?
Yeah, they have a lot of deficiencies. You know, both teams have some deficiencies. If I'm South Carolina, you break when you can, obviously. You know the one of the knocks on Arkansas is we don't rebound very well, and we rebounded good against Texas. So you crash the boards, and then you go inside to your big guy. That's what's scary, Unit. I'm passing the ball around. I'm making you play defense, but I'm trying to get the ball into the big guy where you're either going to double team him and we're going to kick it out and get wide open shots, or I'm going to say, big fella, go to work, and I'm going to try to get some of your bigs 2 quick fouls, and then it gets you kind of on your back heels. So that's what I'm kind of worried for these Hogs, that we don't have somebody foul out.
Yeah, I mean, if one of our, you can consider Brazil a big, but
absolutely, he's going to be guard. Brazil, Big Z, Adu. All three of those guys will be playing the 5 spot at one point. I mean, if you got to play Carter Knox at the 4, you can. I think Billy Richmond, even if you had to, could guard a big. But who else do we have after Big Z, Adu, and Brazil? Am I missing somebody for the bigs?
No, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, then you get Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, and then Wagner and Nelly. The other thing is, and I've been really impressed with Nelly Davis, and I don't know that this is about the last 5 or 6 games, and I'm sure after the roles are kind of changing, especially when your primary ball handler and Boogie Flan goes down, and so now he has the ball in his hand a lot more. I've just been impressed with his decision making. It seemed like when he didn't have the ball in his hand, he was spotting up or he's getting up, he's trying to shoot threes. But now that he does have the ball in his hand, he's playing downhill. And I think he's probably, everybody's touting Big Z because Big Z's been doing his thing. No disrespect to Big Z, but it seemed like Nelly's kind of turned the page and trying to be that leader.
Yeah, he's definitely had to step up. He's kind of that veteran guy, and It helps when you're an older guy and you've got to step up, and he's done that. I don't think he's really a spot up 3-point shooter. Kind of made him out to be Klay Thompson early in the season, which Klay Thompson makes his threes more times than not. But yeah, Nelly's kind of a do it all guy. He doesn't really do one thing incredibly well. I would say free throws is probably high on that list, but he just and he gets turnovers. He affects the game in so many different ways.
Yeah, his defense is first class. I think he's our best defensive guard. No, I don't need him. It's almost like a rule where he gets, every time he shoots 2 free throws, that's a 3-pointer he can shoot. You want Nelly attacking and shooting free throws. I'm ready for Wagner. I love DJ Wagner. I love his intensity. I love his physicality. Everything about him as a basketball player. I'm ready for him to add a little hesitation to his game, because he can turn the corner and he's so violent and physical and strong. But if you can do a little, how Luka gets you on your back and makes you run into him, I think he would get more calls. But he's still being athletic and playing over the top, and it's like you feel like he should go to the foul line 10, 12 times a game, but he doesn't. And if you can do something like that, get him going a little bit and kind of be a little more efficient.
Yeah.
But I do like, it's back-to-back games, Unit, that the starters, everybody that started the game for the Hogs were in double figures.
Yeah, they do that. That's going to be a recipe for a good game, most likely, and that means everybody's contributing. So,
we want to go to the phone lines.
Yeah, we got Gary in Bentonville. What's up, Gary?
Hey, Dave. I have a Gene Hackman movie for you, since you talked about him just a second ago, and I know you did yesterday. But he played a pilot and got shot down in Vietnam. And they used a golf course, him in the spotter plane, to get him to his extraction point. And if I remember right, the name of that movie was Bat 21.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Bat 21. He's Lieutenant Colonel Isel Hamilton.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
1988. Have you seen Behind Enemy Lines that Gene Hackman's in?
I've seen most of them. I'm an old guy.
Yeah. No, I celebrate. It's John Turturro's birthday today. You got a John Turturro movie?
Well, probably. I just hadn't really thought about it. The ones Matt talked about earlier I've seen. But, yeah. No, I just thought you guys hadn't brought that one up yesterday with The Unforgiven and all the rest of them that he's done. He's been in so many movies.
I'm interested to see the details because I don't know if you've seen anything or kept up with it, if it's foul play or what, but I'll be interested to see the details.
Well, they're talking like it's carbon monoxide poisoning.
Ooh, that's the
last I heard.
Yeah.
Since it killed the dog and his wife and all of them, that would probably make more sense.
Well, hey man, thanks for the call.
All right. You guys have a good day.
Yes, sir.
I just got to the ballpark.
Let's go baseball.
Batter up.
There we go. Just getting to the baseball. I mean, what a beautiful day to go up there on the hill and watch the Hawks. Do we know who the starting pitcher is tonight, Unit, or this afternoon?
No, but I can find out.
We'll we can find out. You want to head to a commercial break and then we'll come back and we'll kind of finish up with this baseball game. Let's do it.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
This is halftime. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Checking back in here live on ESPN 95.3. It's Colton Little, and I'm out here today at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, just 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw for Ford Truck Month and the Pick Your Salesman Showdown happening right now. Hey, at 3 o'clock, my guy Phil's got the baseball broadcast. The Razorback baseball team takes on Charlotte today. The mighty 49ers come to town, and you can bet the guy on the bump, Gabe Dackel, is going to be dealing tonight. Hey, speaking of dealing, Harry Robinson's always dealing, especially right now with the Pick Your Salesman Showdown event. It's a competition between all the sales guys here at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford to see who can muster up the most sales individually. And that means they're not going to turn away any reasonable offer that you bring in. You're always getting the very most for your trade here at Harry Robinson, and if you're getting a new car, you know you're getting the very best value. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw, it's Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Jam Mart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. Jam Mart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero Jam Mart locations. And stop by any of the 6 Jam Mart locations in the area. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Benjamin Franklin said, "In this world, nothing is certain except death and taxes." Well, good old Ben must have never met your ex, who is certain that she gets to claim your kids as dependents each and every year. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. As you prepare your tax returns this year, give us a call about your options regarding child custody, visitation, support, and yes, even tax-dependent status. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Oh, the taxes. Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
What's better than getting something for free? Winning. And with the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, you get the chance to do both. For $5, you get 3 tickets, a Powerball ticket with Power Play, a Mega Millions ticket, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket. That's 3 ways to win. So ask for the $5 bundle today. Bundle is eligible with Quick Picks only. Offer ends February 28th. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Something to make us all happy. Do anything, take us out of this room. Sing a song, play guitar, make it snappy. You can make us all laugh, but doing that, you break out in tears. Please don't be sad if it was a straight man you had. We wouldn't have known all these years.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right. How fun was this week? How fun was today? Good work today, unit. Thank you for all of our guests for joining today. You kind of helped make this show go. Thank you for all the listeners, all the callers, all the texters. Let's go baseball. So who's on the bump tonight, unit?
Let's see. I think I saw where Zach Root was. Maybe let me double check.
So it'd be a big time for him. Big game. You kind of want to go out there and give him 4 or 5 innings. I would assume.
Yeah, anytime you can go 4 or 5 innings as a starting pitcher, especially Arkansas.
When
I
you're
think
starting off the series. Because what do? Play this team 2 more times.
Yes. What that does is, obviously that means he's probably pitching a pretty decent game, but gets you into, you don't have to use as many arms. So obviously if the guy, if he's able to go 5 innings, that's always really good. Most of the time a lot of times they can even go 6. It's just kind of depends how their stuff is going that day.
Zach Root on Saturday. I just
Bottle?
saw some Phil Elson notes. He so kind to leave some notes. Landon Jackson, for everybody who hasn't heard it, just dominated at the combine today and yesterday, and led all defensive ends in vertical jump, second place in broad jump. I don't know if he's moved up to a first-round pick or not, but I definitely think he won't go after the second round. So big time for him. Quarterbacks, receivers, running backs going on tomorrow. That's Isaac Tesla, Andrew Armstrong, and Yaquindon Jackson.
We got Gabe Gackle.
Let's go, Gabe. Let's go get him, man.
Yeah.
Let's. What's his best pitch?
Man,
that's a Phil Elson question.
Yeah.
What do you got going over the weekend, man? Any soccer games? Anything you got going on? Basketball game. Hogs play tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna probably hang tight, watch that movie, and.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. You get to watch Unforgiven it's so cool to watch movies for the first time that are amazing. It's one of those Shawshank Redemption type movies. The Green Mile. Anytime that movie's on, you tune in.
Here, the reason I don't probably watch a lot of movies is because I don't like to.
Well, you're a gamer.
I don't like. Well, yeah, that too. I don't like to spend a lot of time doing something. I want the movie to be. I want to know that it's going to be good before I watch it. I know that's kind of lame, but I don't know. I just like to know what I'm getting into if I'm going to spend 2.5 hours.
That's smart. You got to value your time and prioritize. So that's very mature of you, Unit. Everybody out there, thank you so much for listening. Everybody have a wonderful Friday, a great weekend. Let's go baseball. Woo Pig Suey, and we'll see you around.